Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Scorpio November through December 2022 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance through discovering more about yourself through astrology, numerology, and tarot, which is how I read the energy that is around us at all times. So, in this reading, we are going to be taking a look, Scorpio, at what are you going to be experiencing this month? What is being illuminated for you through a challenge that you're being asked to face and overcome? And this is also that you can unlock hidden talents and abilities that are unique to yourself that are going to elevate your experience and push you forward into your highest potential. So, Scorpio, let's get started. I'm going to go right ahead and I'm going to first pull a card or cards to take a look at the energy that you're entering November and December with. Love it. We got the Three of Pentacles. Now we're going to look at what's going on externally to you, and then we'll see what are you unlocking about yourself over the next couple months. And then we'll dive deeper into the actual challenge and the blocks that you're facing and get advice from Spirit as to how to overcome them. So Scorpios, I hope you guys are all enjoying your birthday season. I have a lot of Scorpios in my life. I myself am a Taurus sun sign, so I always feel like we're kind of fated to have a lot of Scorpios in our life as we are opposites on the Zodiac wheel. So we teach each other things that the others might not know just in being their sign. Ooh, I love this. King of Wands. Okay, wow. Powerful month. Couple months here for you guys. And then we have Five of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, guys, let's get right into the reading here. So you're entering the month, these next couple months, with the Three of Pentacles. Beautiful energy. This is one where you are opening yourself up to seeing a future vision for yourself and opening yourself up to allow for others who want to come in and build that vision, that whatever it is for your future self with you. And when we do that, we are opening ourselves up to potential. We're opening ourselves up to kind of releasing maybe a super fixated look at the outcome that must be the result of our actions, meaning that when we bring other people into our vision, often this is where we actually might have something pointed out to us that we normally wouldn't have otherwise seen. So somebody comes in and says, oh my gosh, that's such a fantastic idea. You know, I have a slightly different set of skills, but have you thought about maybe doing it in this way or elevating it here in this capacity? And suddenly, just like you see these three individuals here, each sharing something different, they are able to not only build what is intended in a more efficient way, but often in a far more maybe authentic or attractive or way that is, again, maybe not the original intended outcome, but it's better. And with the King of Wands in your external environment, this is a fiery, passionate energy. There actually could be, for some of you, somebody like, I would like to call the King of Wands my CEO card. This is somebody who understands how to work from a place of their own passion. They bring that into every scenario, and they're also very focused on their needs, on fulfilling what comes from that passion. So when you think of people who kind of fit this archetype of the King of Wands, this is Leo energy. This is being seen. This is coming from the heart, from that place, that fiery place within us that wants to be seen. And when you think about that, you can think of, iconic individuals out there today that are constantly in the news. People like Elon Musk, people like Oprah Winfrey, people like the, recently passed Queen of England, people like that who are very kind of uncompromising in being themselves authentically and bringing that forward. And so for some of you, there could actually be the potential over the next 2 months to either connect with someone like this. So there could be an individual in your midst that's coming in. This could be, a boss that you have not interacted with yet that comes in out of the blue. This could be an individual who's looking to start their own business. This can be someone who just really kind of embodies, again, that bold Leo energy. Now, for others, this is where you're actually going to be given the opportunity to step up into this energy. And why do I say that? Because with the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands and the Five of Wands, this month is going to be all about kind of cutting your teeth and learning what you're capable of when you come from a place of passion, when you speak from a place of passion, when you act from a place of passion, when you think from a place of passion. And with the Eight of Pentacles at the core here, the Eight of Pentacles is all about dedicated, focused work. This is in the physical. When we think of Pentacles, this is all about what we're working with here in the physical plane. This is money, time, resources. And the Eight of Pentacles is perfecting something. It's putting our head down and doing the work over and over and over again to achieve a specific desired result, or to, get very proficient in what we're doing. And then the Queen of Wands steps in and says, wait a second, that's all good, keeping your head down and kind of just doing the day-to-day, over and over and over again. But the Queen of Wands comes in with magic. She's always, for me, the embodiment of like the witch archetype in the tarot. And this is where she comes in with her fiery, passionate energy and says, wait, I have a magic wand. I got my black cat here. I can just make what I want happen simply through the sheer just desire of I want it here, and I understand how I myself, working with my own passions, my own abilities, can just create what I want where I want it. And that is the symbol of the sunflower here, that she is sitting in the desert, but yet holds a sunflower, showing that she can create abundance where she would like it to grow. And with the Five of Wands, this can be a card of conflict or chaos, but it can also be a card where we jump into the mix and we kind of get to test our magic out there. This can be a card of competition, and it can be a card of healthy competition, where we might be entering a new work environment or a new job, kind of market, and or where we get back out into the dating world and we want to see what we can do. But there's something here around, you've done a lot of dedicated work, but now it's time to really dig into the magic that you uniquely bring and take it out to be seen. And that's really what the King of Wands is good at. Now, with the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, there's this feeling of progression, but there's also a feeling of partnership. These are two individuals that can come together and bring the feminine and masculine archetypes together. And that's very important. And that feminine archetype is very receptive. It's very open. It's very willing to bring in what comes, being able to kind of pull from what's around them and then create something from that. And the King of Wands is more of that, a masculine archetype of pushing forward, of someone who is going to create something maybe that's never been. And so with these two people, this is a very dynamic force to be reckoned with. Now, for some of you, this could be truly that you are just bringing these two parts of yourself together, that you're balancing the feminine and the masculine, and you're allowing yourself to really step into that place of passion. And that's going to give you the courage to kind of maybe face what may seem like a chaotic experience, or pushing yourself into kind of maybe having to show something that you've been working on, maybe behind the scenes, and we're kind of afraid to go out there and actually, in a physical way, meaning from a place of taking action, go for it. And the Three of Pentacles, with that kind of, the eye to the future, wanting to bring other people in to work with you, to build something. In order for us to attract those people, we have to be able to show what we're capable of, what we've been working on, what the magic that we have. And so I think that's really going to be what you're going to be pushed over the next 2 months to show, Scorpio, which I love this. This is a really powerful energy coming through here. So now I'm going to pull cards and we're going to take a look at what are the blocks and the challenges that you're facing. So we have the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, two very positive cards, and yet they are your block, which is interesting. So the Nine of Pentacles is your main block. Nine of Pentacles is a card of independence and abundance. It's one where we have achieved comfort and stability in our everyday physical experience, but at a certain point it can become a gilded cage. This is where we are sitting here and everything is beautiful within the cage, but we are too afraid to leave it behind in case we might lose something again. So we've worked so hard to get to this point, and yet we're kind of stuck by it. We're like, oh, it's actually, finally I've made it. Finally I feel independent. Finally I feel secure. But in order to get the last pentacle, because there's a Ten of Pentacles waiting just beyond this, you have to leave that walled garden, that gilded cage, that place of stability to find that last pentacle. And that can be very difficult because it's almost like you're having to take something from here, kind of disrupt a little bit of your stability to invest it over here with other people into creating what will become the Ten of Pentacles. Now with the Ten of Cups, this is Spirit asking you to really think from a place of deep emotion. And Scorpio, you are highly skilled at that, as you are the deepest of the emotionally deepest of the water signs. You have that ability to just go within, go to the depths, go into the darkness in a way that the other signs cannot. And that harnesses great power. And so it really comes down to you. And when you think about water energy and working with your emotions, I mean, look at how much abundance this individual has. She is surrounded by cups that are just overflowing with source, energy, spirit, abundance. Her needs are being met. Her emotions are full. There's this emotional fulfillment that comes through. So there's something here around really understanding that although you can be in a place of stability, is it really bringing you to this point? Do you feel in this moment that you are in that Ten of Cups? And if the answer is no, meaning that you are not full, there's a place within where you are lacking that feeling of fulfillment. That's going to be your key, that spotlight to say, that's why it's time to leave that gilded cage. You know, it could be that you want to meet somebody. Maybe you do want to meet a business partner, or you want to meet a significant other, you know, a romantic partnership. But in order for you to do that, you have to leave that cage. You have to get out there and go back into the dating world. You have to get out there and start applying for, you know, whatever it can come to, you know, whether it's moving into a new job, whether it's applying for a business license so that then you can start to network and find other people who can help support the business you want to create. Whatever it is, there's a feeling here of really getting to that place. And I love that the Nine of Cups then, so we're moving backwards. The Nine of Cups comes in at the heart of your reading as your advice from Spirit. The Nine of Cups says, what is that wish? What is that wish that lies within your heart that would bring your current stable and abundant situation into your ultimate heart's fulfillment? And if you can just really lean into that. And Scorpio, I feel like this is a message that's been coming through very prominently for the past few months for you. So this is all about a lesson of kind of aligning your actions with your passions and your emotions. That there's that lesson going on of we can't just take action without having that emotional awareness of what we're doing and why we're doing it. Yes, and therein lies the inspiration, the spark, the passion, your magic, your wand. So that wish, that one thing right now that would take your whole experience and elevate it to this extra level, that is where the magic lies for you. And if you can lean into that, that's where you discover your wand. That's where you discover, I've perfected something. I've worked hard. I've now gone from the Eight of Pentacles to the Nine of Pentacles, but now I got to get back out there again because I've rediscovered a new passion. I've rediscovered that spark within me. I have the magic wand. And yes, here comes the Tower. And therein is the crumbling. For some of you, this could be the spark of just true inspiration, and an idea comes in and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been working so hard on something, and suddenly maybe you see it in a new way. I'm curious to see if the Hanged Man will come up in this reading at any point. But there is something here around possibly realizing that you've been working so hard in one realm or one sphere, and that it can be utilized, the work over here can suddenly be utilized in a new way to achieve this wish fulfillment that you really want for yourself. And you realize it, you get fired up about it, it's exciting, and you get ready to go out and kind of get into the mix with it. But then the Tower comes in at the very end, and that is the leveling of the gilded cage. That's the walls coming down. That's the realization of it's been time to go for a long time, Scorpio, and you're being liberated. The Tower can get sometimes a bad rap for those who understand the tarot well. The Tower can kind of, you can see in this image, it's kind of scary, right? It looks like, something from heaven is striking down this tower. It's on flames. People are falling out of the building. Somebody's lost his crown. And yet, the Tower is all about when we have walled ourselves off from being able to see our star, from being able to see the night sky and see that wish that we want to make for ourselves. It's when we've allowed the devil to trap us through a false sense of security. Better the devil I know, better me living in this dark, scary tower because I know it's safe and secure, and I know it's walls, and I know it's halls, and then going out and living a life that might be, 1,000 times better and more beautiful. And this is when Spirit comes in and says, no, it's time. I can't watch you be in here anymore. The walls come down, and suddenly it's like daylight's come in. You see your star again. You see the way forward. You realize how much you've been missing. And that's when you pick your crown back up and step into this King of Wands energy. Or this is where a King of Wands comes into your experience and you two get to level up together. So very positive energy. There's a lot of opportunity here. I did see when I was shuffling, I did see that the Wheel of Fortune was at the bottom of the deck a couple times. So the time that the wheel is turning over, there is time for opportunity coming in if you have I would say, confidence in yourself and confidence in the vision you want for your future self, to leave a little bit of the security you have now to step up into kind of jumping into something very new, or something that might feel new, even though maybe you at one point had done it in the past. Okay, so now I'm going to pull clarifiers. We're going to take a look at the Nine of Pentacles. So let's get a little bit deeper into why you're having a hard time kind of going towards the Ten of Pentacles, which is kind of your ultimate legacy of what you want to build towards. So let's see, what does Scorpio need to know? Okay, so here's the Eight of Pentacles again, so double confirmation. It's saying, yeah, you've worked on it. It's almost like, I think for some of you, you haven't realized that you've made it. It's like you've had your head down for so long, just dedicated, working, putting, one foot in front of the other and doing it over and over and over again, that you almost need to pull your head up and realize how much abundance you have around yourself and enjoy it. And in that enjoyment of what you've done, I think that's really going to be where you realize, wow, there's one missing piece here for me. And I've already perfected something, and I'm already reaping the benefits of it. But there's one more thing I have to do. There's one more wish I have to take this to the next place. Okay, so now we're going to see Ten of Cups. So let's see, Four of Cups. Yeah, so there's this feeling of looking kind of without from without, trying to see I actually am feeling like this is actually a piece of advice for you guys, to to realize that when you look around you, the Four of Cups can be a card of kind of, boredom, maybe even disappointment, attachment. It can be where we're kind of looking at everything outside of ourselves and going, man, nothing's really doing it for me. Nothing feels fulfilling. I'm not emotionally excited or fulfilled by anything around me at this time. But there's almost this feeling of, at the same time coming in, it's like Spirit's trying to remind you about your own cup. It's like, but you're not bringing you into the mix. You're not bringing your own emotions. You've closed yourself off. You're holding your cup and you're not willing to realize that outside influences, those things can only emotionally fulfill you when you open yourself up emotionally, kind of bring your cup to the party, so to speak. Because this can also be, sometimes I look at this as us feeling like the outsider, us looking at other people celebrating things. The Three of Cups, that's really what that card speaks to, is a card of celebration and a card of three equals kind of coming together and sharing what's in their cup. And this can sometimes speak to that, of really feeling like you're the odd man out, that you watch everybody else celebrating and you're kind of sitting on the sidelines with your cup and you're wondering, well, who can I cheers this cup with? So keep that in mind when you're thinking about your Ten of Cups. Where do you feel emotionally like you're an outsider? And why do you feel like... And I wouldn't say, why do you feel like you need to have others celebrate with you? Because we all need to have that camaraderie. We all need to feel like we are able to share what's in our cup with others and vice versa. But there's this feeling here of, with the Ten of Pentacles coming in, or the Cups coming in, underneath this, that it's almost like in looking without, I get the feeling, I'm sorry guys if so many messages are coming in right now. The main message that's coming through, though, is a comparison to others. And I think that that's maybe where you're getting stuck, is that you've kind of lost touch with yourself emotionally because you've been too busy looking at what other people are doing and attaching your own emotional fulfillment to that. That if I don't have this, or I don't get to celebrate with them, or am not part of that, then I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to feel emotionally fulfilled. And it's realizing, you got to go look at it the other way around. First, figure out what emotionally fulfills you. First, figure out the people you want to celebrate with. First, figure out the situation that will fill the need that you need to have to feel emotionally fulfilled. And naturally, that's going to attract the right situation. Everybody's needs are different. That's what cups speak to. These are our needs, our dreams, our wants, and they are truly unique to the individual. No two people's needs are ever going to be the same. So keep that in mind here. As you lean into, as I go to the Nine of Cups, here comes the Tower again and the Death card. So this is, death is your energy. This is number 13 in the tarot, and it is scorpionic energy. The death speaks to death and rebirth. As we understand in this physical life, nothing can be recreated or birthed into something new that has not come from matter that has been basically something that had to die in one form, and then that matter had to be reformed into something new. And I think that's the Tower here for some of you, is that in realizing what's that wish, what's that one thing that would take your experience from what it is today to what it can ultimately emotionally be in your kind of own idea of like experiencing emotionally heaven on earth. What's the one thing that needs to be transformed right now? What's the one thing that needs to be released, to let go of, so that you can take that matter, you can take that kind of emotional something and turn it into something new? And I know that kind of seems a little unclear. So let me see if I can try to bring this down into something that is a little bit more specific. This would be, for instance, like suddenly you realize, oh my gosh, I have all the security in the world. I've got the amazing house, I've got the great car, I've got the good job, but the one thing I don't have is the love of my life, a partner to share it with. And as much as I've been hurt in the past, and as much as I I've gone on 100 dating sites previously and to no avail or to bad endings. I still can't get past that that's the one thing I really want for myself. That's the one thing that would take my whole experience and make me feel like I was truly a part of my vision of heaven on earth. It's what I would like to celebrate with others. And then you realize then something in your life has to kind of be sacrificed. Something in your life has to die in order for it to come in as this new partner. So what is that? Is that fear of failing again in a future relationship? Is that the emotion of kind of distress or depression, or it's realizing that we don't always have to have something literally die. It's that we can just have something within us die. It can be a belief. It can be, again, a fear, and I'm strongly hearing fear. It can be a fear, and letting that fear transform into excitement. And that's where the Tower comes in. When we realize that when we feel fear, often it's the same feelings of when we feel excited, right? Like we get the same kind of physical response in our body. But if we can transform and transmute that fear into instead realizing, actually what I feel as anxiety could actually be considered excitement. And that's where suddenly you realize, oh my gosh, I can get excited about this thing, this one thing that I emotionally connect to and really want. This is the one thing I'm going to get excited for it to come in. And suddenly you realize like, oh my gosh, what you've been blocking yourself off from for so long. Now, this could be romantic partnership. This could be leveling up in your career. This could be leaving where you've lived your whole life. You name it. Pick whatever, works for your situation. But there is something here that must die for it to be reborn. And that's what's going to allow for the Ace of Wands. And you have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords knows what she's been through. She knows what she's survived, and she knows what she's capable of. And she's willing to express that to others as well as to hear their story. It's a card that really speaks to feminine, that's how can I put this? It's the strength of feminine receptivity when we know what we're capable of. It's kind of going out there with our sword and saying, whatever comes my way, I know how to yield my sword, which is my truth. And I'm willing to accept what comes in with the knowledge that I survived what came in the past, and I will continue to survive as I move forward. And there's something here about there's going to be an idea or an inspiration that comes in around this, where all of a sudden when you realize I can transmute this fear into excitement. I can, now that the walls have come down and I realize what's that one thing I really want in my life that I don't have currently, that's where that inspiration is going to come in. It's going to be like, okay, I am going to sign up for that dating app. I am going to ask that guy I've been looking at or that girl I've been looking at or whatever, on that date. Or I am going to go ahead and start to look at houses in a new location outside of where I've always lived. Or I am going to go and start applying for new jobs or start banging on my boss's door for, kind of leveling up employment opportunities. And I'm not afraid anymore of the possible rejection or the possible lack of interest, because I know what I went through in the past. And if that comes in again, I'll be able to handle it. But this time I'm actually opening myself up to more because I've learned more about myself. I'm stronger. I know more. And I don't have to be trapped by the Tower anymore. I'm free to go where I want. There's this feeling of I'm free to love who I want. I'm free to live how I want. I'm free to celebrate how I want. And it's a really powerful feeling, because once you figure that out, that's when you step up into being the king or the queen, either way. Or you are the queen that attracts the king. So it can go a number of ways, but they're all positive. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now, I always like to think of, the fire energy as it's contagious. When you think about how fire spreads and it can jump from one thing to another. And there's almost that feeling here of you guys being able to dig into your fiery core. Now, Scorpio, even though you're technically a very deep water sign, you also have kind of a fire energy to you that comes from the phoenix being one of your symbols. And so there's this feeling of you guys also are able to harness the energy of fire. And I think for what you're realizing is that's what you've been missing. That's the death. Think about it. The phoenix had to die to then had to go through the flame to then be reborn as the new powerful version of itself. And that's what you're realizing, that you have not been living from a place of passion. You have been afraid to touch the fire instead of realizing that the fire itself is what is going to transform you. And there comes the Three of Cups, the celebration. Those who have been waiting outside of the walls of your tower to come in and celebrate with you, and you thought you were all alone. Beautiful, beautiful message, Scorpio. I hope this is resonating for some of you. Okay, I'm going to pull 3 additional cards here for the concepts of courage. I'm sorry, curiosity, courage, and contemplation. So we're going to get advice from Spirit. So we're going to look at first curiosity. The first card here is where Spirit would like you to be open and curious to maybe where you've been possibly blocking yourself off from something positive that wants to come in for you. So we have yin yang, number 22. Beautiful. The symbol of balancing masculine and feminine energy. The number 22. This is harnessing a double 2, which is harmony. It's bringing the eye of yourself and the eye of somebody else and bringing them together. The number 22 reduces to the number 4. Building strong foundations is also a master number of the master builder. So there is something here around building it together, but through the union of the feminine and the masculine. So again, for some of you, this can be literally that you are bringing the feminine and the masculine, you're healing them. You might have maybe had a wound around the feminine energy or a wound around the masculine energy in your life because of what you've gone through. But now you're maybe healing this part of yourself, healing the feminine energy within yourself so that you can step up into the masculine energy, and you're bringing those together. And that's what's going to allow you to be the builder, because we're being curious, right? Where have you been blocking yourself off from bringing these two powers together within yourself? The receptive and the creative with the kind of powerful pushing and, outwardly focused energy. This can also be for many of you if this is a, kind of going towards more of the love type reading, this is bringing yourself into balance with another and realizing that you two can build it stronger together. And where are you pushing that away? Where are you blocking yourself from really allowing yourself to merge with another? Okay. I'm going to pull, let's see here. I'm going to pull a couple clarifiers just to get an additional. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, 6 of Wands. Success, recognition, being seen. Another card of Leo. So there's something here around really that there's a powerful energy. There's powerful union energy, and that union energy will be recognized. It will allow you to step up into this of being seen, whether it's being seen by another who truly sees you, or whether it's just success in the action that you're taking and the recognition of the work of a job well done. Okay, so now I'm going to pull a card here for the concept of courage, and this is where Spirit would really like you to surrender. So have the courage to surrender to the message in this card. And this is also that as you do so, you have a more clarity in where you should have the courage to take action. So again, whether this is really your whole kind of focus over the next 2 months is to let the tower fall. And who cares if it's on fire, because you're the phoenix. And the phoenix can only be unlocked by that fire. So whether this is being consumed by the passion of a new relationship, being consumed by the passion of a hobby you want to turn more into more than a hobby, being consumed by just the passion of what you want to feel out of life, whatever that looks like, whatever you want to celebrate with others and be celebrated for, it's going to involve something coming down. Hence, having the courage to let it, having the courage to be consumed by the fire. And you don't have to be worried about it, because you are the Queen of Wands. You can work that wand. Ooh, I like it. Surrender to the wisdom of your body. It says, listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. Now, this is a major life lesson that everyone needs to take heed. And I think if we all did more often, we would find ourselves much happier and healthier just in general. So it is very easy for us to realize where maybe we've been trying to push ourselves to fit in, or trying to push ourselves into kind of a social circle, or push ourselves into, you name it, working in a specific job so you can be seen in a specific way. And yet when you think about it, when you think about going to work in that environment, all you feel is stress. Or when you go to hang out with those people, all you feel is the fear of, being judged, or you get a headache every time you have to think about meeting up with them, or every time you think about wanting a partner, a significant other, it brings up, these intense feelings of wanting something more for yourself. Oh, my daughter's awake. Hold on one moment, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. So anyways, before I start here again, just want to apologize. My voice is going. I caught a little cold, so it might sound a little gravelly for the rest of this reading. But what I was saying about, again, using your body as a guide to what doesn't work. You can also use it as a guide to what does work for you. So when you think about trying to feel into that kind of missing piece that you really want to bring into your experience to feel that emotional fulfillment, this is where you get to use your body as a guide. This is a whole reason why we are in this experience in physical form, because part of what we experience is through the lens, through the it's hard for me to explain it in this way, but it's like we absorb life through our physical being. And so this is really asking you to have the courage to really trust it, and to be aware of it, and to notice it, what makes you feel good, what doesn't make you feel good. And hold on, guys, 1 second. My apologies, a pop-up came up and I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to mess with this video. So I'm going to pull a couple additional cards here. So let's just see what else wants to come out for surrender to the wisdom of your body, as you have the courage to start to really feel the fire and take that wand, that magic wand, out to be seen. So as I'm just sitting here thinking about this, there's really this feeling coming through for you guys of being seen, of having to kind of put yourself out there again. But also, we don't really know our own magic. We don't really know the true how would I say this? The true capabilities of our magic, of our wand, until we get out there and we test it against others, until we have it be seen. And I think that that's really what you're diving into the next couple months, is seeing your true magic kind of brought to life outside of yourself through interacting with others, through letting it be seen. Okay, so we have 2 of Swords, we have 9 of Swords, and 9 of Wands. Yeah, there's definitely an area in your life where you felt where you are feeling burned out. The 9 of Wands can be one where we're kind of like that weary, wounded warrior, where we're like, oh gosh, do I have to keep going? I've come so far. I don't want to keep doing this. And with the 2 of Swords and the 9 of Swords, there seems to be a decision that you're kind of waiting or hesitant to make because of worry, because you're worried that you might make the wrong decision, that this could be maybe leaving a job, and you might sit there and say, yes, but what if I leave, even though I don't like this job and it's making me feel frustrated, or it's making me feel like I want more. If I leave, what if I can't make enough to pay my bills? Or what if I don't like that situation? Or what if I go out there and I do decide to date again and it's not the right person, that maybe I get hurt again? And the beauty of the 9 of Swords is that these are just the negative thoughts that occur in our mind. They're not, it's projecting into a future space that is based in nothing at this point. So the beauty of this is that it's simply all in the mind. And that's why you're hesitant, but you're hesitant to take action, which is Wands here, because you've probably been sitting with this worry for some time. You've been sitting with this kind of lack of wanting to just make a decision to do something because of this energy of just feeling burned out, just feeling like I don't want to do it anymore. I can't do it again. It's been a long slog to this point. But the beauty again is simply saying, if this is about the courage to take action, there's only one more final step to go before you get to take this whole process and finish it out with the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is when we take all of the burdens, all of the actions, everything we've done up to this point, and we bring it home and we put it down and we rest. And you're almost there. You're almost there. And if you are having if you're having difficulty kind of seeing the way forward, you might have 2 decisions in front of you, or you might not know which one is more in alignment with your truth or who you are today. Well, that's why you're being asked to feel into your body. Use your body as the guide. What makes you feel excited? What brings passion into your experience when you think about it? Is it moving to a new location? Is it the possibility of starting a new job? Is it the possibility of meeting the next romantic partner that's going to share in your experience? And that's going to be the guide as to where you need to take one final step of action, close out a cycle, and start a new one here with the Ace of Wands. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to pull another card here for the concept of contemplation. And this is a point of reflection that Spirit would like you to keep in mind to really ground this reading as you move through the next couple months, so that you can really be present and aware and, looking for that place where the tower needs to come down. I'm really feeling for you guys, and I think I'll probably make it the title of your reading here, which is, it's time, don't be afraid to feel the burn over the next 2 months. It's time to let that cleansing fire come through and help elevate you into the phoenix. So don't be afraid, step into the passion, step into that burn. Okay, so we have Priestess. It says, how are you being called to step up and lead? I love that. And for some of you, this could literally be stepping up into that kind of CEO type position, stepping up to show what you're capable of, putting your best foot forward, maybe asking in your company, can I be elevated to this higher position? Can I take on that project and be the lead? This can also be personally. Where are you being called to step up and lead within your own life, within your own life experience? Where do you need to take the first step to do something that is going to play off of what you've already been working on, all the hard work and effort you've put in, and that's going to really, I think, spearhead this new vision for yourself, something that you want to build for yourself and with others. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull just a couple clarifiers here to see what anything else that wants to come out for you guys. Anything else about Scorpio and what they need to know about stepping up to lead? Scorpio, this is really about, again, kind of dissolving. Oh, there's the Nine of Pentacles again. Yeah, abundance and independence. But where are you being called to step up and lead in the utilization of that? I think that's really what you guys need is coming through here. Nine of Wands again, so double confirmation, and the Queen of Swords. Yeah, the truth. The truth of how far you've come, the truth of how burned out you are about something in your life right now, and the truth about understanding that if you've come this far and you've gone through what you've had to go to get to this point, to get to this beautiful place of independence and comfort and stability, now it's time to move past that. You've done it. You created something for yourself. You created a stable place for yourself, but now you know you can do it again, or you can build it better. So there's something here with the Nine of Pentacles that's coming through, that there's something about now you have enough. You have quite a bit, but what are you going to do with that quite a bit? You know, sometimes it's not enough to just, you know, sit on a bunch of money or sit on job security or sit with, you know, the perfect romantic relationship. Sometimes you have to take it up a notch. And that's really, I think, where you're being called to step up and lead, is it's that element of getting past the point of complacency. You've mastered something, you want to build something more. There's energy out here waiting this elevated energy, a possible elevated partnership, or somebody who wants to come in and really work with you and work with what you've already been working on to take it to the next level. But you really have to be willing to show yourself and to kind of put yourself out there. So beautiful energy, Scorpio. Again, this is all about having the courage to have the confidence in yourself, confidence in what you've already created for yourself, and to understand that at this point, there is going to be this kind of fire-like energy coming in, and you can choose to be burned by it, or you can choose to kind of run away from it and say, I don't want that. I'm fine in my gilded cage. I'm fine where I am. I don't want to step into the burn, step into the passion. I don't want to take the relationship to the next level. I don't want to leave the comfort of where I'm living now. I don't want to leave the comfort of this cushy job or of this level in this hobby that I feel compelled to want to take further. There's something here around really understanding how far you've come, what you've created for yourself, using that as the basis, the confidence to then take leadership in your own life to elevate some other part of your experience that is waiting to come in, that wish fulfillment, that one extra thing that's going to come in that is going to really take your whole experience to that 10 of Cups, to that realization of sometimes we can touch, and it might not be forever, but we can have these moments in our lives where we touch heaven on earth, where we get to see and live and in that emotional space. And I think for some of you, it's coming in. It's coming in very clearly here. Okay, so I'm going to pull a final card for the overarching message. So the spiritual lesson that you're learning over the next couple months. So what does Scorpio need to know about the spiritual lesson they're learning? Oh, we have trust in the plan. And I feel like you guys got this last year too. Or last reading. So you have trust in the plan, number 13, which again is the number of the death card in the tarot. It harnesses your energy, Scorpio, death and transformation. Paradigm shift, number 4. The door opening, number 4, is building firm foundations. Also in alignment with this number 22, the number of master building. So yeah, massive paradigm shift, and you're being asked to trust. Now I'm going to read the full excerpt in the book here that comes with this. So let's go ahead. both of these just to get a final message that does not come just directly from me. Okay, so trust in the plan, number 13. In preparation for radical growth, there can be temporary disorder and chaos. While the mind may worry that something is going wrong, the spirit knows that this is a way for the old to disassemble so the new can be formed. Although you may feel out of control during such times, you do not need to resist the process. There is no need to attempt to impose your own sense of order upon the greater plan. You do not need to seek solutions, for there is no problem here in need of solving. What has been is being cleared away in preparation for the next chapter in your life. Have faith, all is well. It says, do not fear. You may see the life you have known appears to be ending. There's that death energy coming in, the old you, some part of yourself that's ready to be transformed. It says, you may find that the things you used to do or the way you used to think no longer seem as relevant as they once were. You may feel your relationships and friendships are changing. Some may even be ending. Perhaps you find you no longer have the energy or motivation to keep certain relationships going in your life. However, your energy is meant to be withdrawing from what it once supported. This is not an abandonment or betrayal. It is not selfish. It is honest. When you trust in your spiritual growth, all that happens is love. That means that even an apparent loss always serves love, whether that is immediately obvious or not. It is sometimes necessary for both parties to become free to live their true destiny. Life is a loving, creative journey for your soul. That means there will be times when the very thing you have worked towards needs to crumble, the tower, so that the next evolution of your soul manifestation upon the earth can take place. It is natural, and although it can be challenging to trust in a greater creative process during times when it seems as though there's only chaos and confusion, you are strong enough spiritually to do so. To feel peace during such times, you must trust in your own inner knowing over what appears to be, trusting that wisdom of your body. You are divinely scheduled to evolve at this point in your life. Can you sense an exciting growth phase happening for you? There's another way for you to live, to be, to thrive, and love in this world, and you are rapidly heading towards it. This is a time to surrender control and allow a higher power to direct your course. Many exciting new opportunities, situations, and connections will come into your life as a result of what you are experiencing now. It is all part of a greater divine intelligence unfolding in loving service to your own sacred life path. Have faith and stay true to your spiritual principles. Trust in an unfolding higher plan. Know that all changes in your life serve your higher good. The universe knows what you need and is in the process of delivering it to you now. All is happening for a greater purpose. You can flow with the changes in loving trust. Your perfect time for resurrection will follow this deconstruction, and it will occur in the perfect way. I love that. So don't fear, again, the fire. Don't fear, again, the tower coming down. And it's almost like, again, there's this emotional tower that's coming down for you guys. There's this feeling of opening yourself up to the fire that's raging right outside the door and just letting it come in. And I think for some of you, you're going to be surprised that all this fear and anxiety you had around this change is instead going to be the most liberating thing that you've ever experienced. Okay, so it says paradigm shift number 4. You are undergoing radical growth in your belief systems. Now is the time to challenge old attitudes and question previous expectations. You are in an extraordinary time. Great leaps forward can be made in a moment. The world you thought you knew can suddenly break open, and a new world can become your reality. Buddhists sometimes speak of the beginner's mind, that which assumes nothing and therefore is open to everything. A spiritual psychologist might call this the inner child, as it is innocent, curious, unfixed, and always learning. It doesn't get stuck on an answer having to be one way. There is openness to the unknown with curiosity instead. Old souls can sometimes find it hard to recapture their not knowingness. Asking someone with a lot of life experience who may have become a bit world weary to drop expectations and look at the world through fresh eyes can be challenging. And that's the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands is that kind of world weary person who's like, but all I've gotten from doing this is this. So you're being asked to drop expectations as you take the next and final move towards closing out a major cycle. It says, yet life becomes much more energizing and interesting when you are open and don't hold expectations about what will be. Suddenly you are receptive to the universe, helping you in ways that in the past you did not believe possible, all because you kept an open mind. If you are feeling that you don't really know yourself, your relationships, or your place in the world as you once did, if you are feeling that what you once held to be certain now seems to be a little shaky, these are signs that you are going through a paradigm shift. This will bring you new perceptions that will free you to be in the world in new ways. You will find yourself shedding old limits, fears, and misconceptions. You are stepping beyond what you have known. You are a bit like a traveler in a new city, feeling awkward until she gets the lay of the land and how things operate in that new place. As you trust the unexpected and unknown, the universe will be able to help you in unexpected and previously unknown ways. If you find yourself questioning the views in mass media or spoken in the conversations that those around you are having, take heart and know that you are awakening from a fear-based world into a love-filled reality. Your confusion will soon transform into joy at discovering that you are free and have no reason to be afraid. You are encouraged by the universe to embrace the power you have to be a free thinker. Accept the accelerated mental shift happening for you, even if it creates temporary uncertainty or discomfort. Dare to think thoughts of love rather than lower your vibration by choosing thoughts of fear. Trust for something helpful and empowering is happening in your soul. I'm going to leave you all with that. I think this is a month of breaking through a boundary of fear. Fear to feel the passion that I think some of you have pushed aside. Fear to transform into the incredibly powerful being that you are. And over the next 2 months, you're going to be presented with an opportunity to take action, to take one step towards this new you. And don't be afraid of the fire. All right, everyone, I will leave it there. If you'd like to book a personal reading or just to learn more about the services that I offer, you can click on the link in the description box below. For those of you who'd like to get a clearer sense of where to focus and where to focus to bring more emotional fulfillment and stability in your life through looking at your moon sign and working with that, you can book a reading for 2023. I am starting to book out into past January at this point. So if you are looking to do something like that and kind of take 2023 by the horns, so to speak, and start to really dive into learning more about your moon sign, and I probably will post a video about this, learning more about its placement in your astrological chart and how by really diving into this and getting better awareness of the traits that fall within that area of your chart, how you can better express yourself more authentically, and how you can better and more quickly find the emotional stability and fulfillment you want to feel so that you can then continue on focusing in other areas of your chart, like your purpose in other areas that you want to feel. But stabilizing and being aware of your moon sign and its house placement is very important. And again, I will probably do a video on this so everybody can learn more about it. But otherwise, if I don't see you there, I will see you all in next month's reading. I'll probably also do a miracle message this month like I did last month as well. All right, Scorpios, have a wonderful and powerful next couple of months. See you all in the next reading. Bye.